When I was a resident of this house about 83 years ago, I had a friend by the name of Jimmy Shea. Jimmy lived a couple of blocks south and west of here, and he was over playing one day, and we were out behind the house. Behind the house, at that time, I think it's still there, was a storm cellar, and where we stored fruit and things like that. And Jimmy and I were playing up on top of the storm cellar. Well, the roof caved in. And the next thing I remember hearing was, "Mrs. Spina, Mrs. Spina, get me out of here." Mother came out and opened the door of the cellar and went down there. There Jimmy was, completely covered with dust and all kinds of vermin, but he was otherwise unhurt, and he survived the incident, and I think the cellar has since been repaired. 1948, when I was a senior here in Goodland, there was a political uprising, and the third party was George Wallace organized to run for president of the United States. And because of all the political hubbub, well, George school here decided to hold a student election to elect the student officers, and the slate was presented, and there was some of us that did not really agree with all the students that were being slated. And so Sylvan Dawson, Jack Montgomery, Don Rulier, Anna Marie Colburn, Jim Linnell, and myself spearheaded a drive to organize a third party. On Halloween night of 1948, I don't know exactly how it was obtained, but there was a Coca-Cola sign that had blown down out on Highway 24, and it was absconded and brought into my dad's garage down on 9th Street in Maine, and it was brought in the back door, and it was disassembled, and we started painting, and we painted the third party. It was quite a brilliantly colored sign. Jack was pretty much of an artist. He spearheaded the design. And we got it done, and the six of us took that sign and walked, also got some rope from Grandpa's store there, and we walked through the town up here to the back of the school and climbed up. I don't remember exactly how we got up there, but we did, and we carried the sign from the back of the school up here to that cupola up on top, draped the rope around it, and attached a sign to it, and lowered it down to just above the door here. Well, there was quite a hubbub in the school the next morning when everybody came. I don't know if anybody in town got a picture of it or not before the sign came down, but we were called into the office, and we were reprimanded, and we were told we were supposed to do things like that. It was akin to breaking and entering, and so anyway, that is the story of the third party sign, and of course we won the election. We did a few other things, like the other candidates had posters around the school. I remember one of them, John Gallagher. He is a cherry on your Sunday. And we had a countersign. It says, John Gallagher, he'd steal the cherry off your Sunday. But we had a number of things like that. But anyway, that was one of the adventures I had during high school. Well, I would get up and deliver papers to each individual house that we I'd go in there to the Goodland Daily News office, and they had the printing press downstairs. And when school was out, and they had boxes for each one of the carriers, and deliver the boxes, or pick up my boxes. I generally had about 140 houses to go to, and much of the time I was walk my entire route, and it was I had several routes over the years. Another memory I have of this is when I could get up early in the morning. Of course, folks never kept the doors locked or anything, and I would still in my nightgown. I wore a nightgown then, and I'd go down here to out behind the house actually, where Uncle Vern's garage or implement business was, and across the street from it and to the left was a cafe. And I would go into the cafe, and they'd say, "Yes, young fella, may I help you? I want some ice cream." And they would give me a little scoop of ice cream, and I'd eat and go home. And that's most of the memories I can remember. My grandmother and aunt coming to visit us one time, but that's about all the memories I have of this particular institution. We moved in here about September 15th, 1939. The next day I started school down at the center grade school that they were, which is now an administrative building. I was starting to tell you that down on the I was being harassed by the kids at school, and one night about 5 or 6 of them, it was in January, and the temperature had to be below 0. And on the way home, they were going to beat me up, and they chased me all the way from the school down where we stopped on that corner down there. We got off the school ground up here to the house. So this house had a porch that went all the way around from here, all the way around at that time, and I ran into the house, and ahead of him, Mom wasn't home, and there they were pounding the windows on the porch, you know, and making all kinds of noise. Well, I went and got a garden hose, hooked it to the laundry, and I opened the door, and like Mark's brother Monty, I said, I got my own surprise. And I fostered those boys pretty good.